with this year's USAC build. It was going well. I was really positive about it. I was having a good time. The vision of it was coming in quick for me, but it immediately took a left turn on me at my most scariest moment that always happens to me. That's why I'm always pins and needles when it's paint time. It was touch and go. Even did a video on I messed a little bit up on the paint, but I was able to correct it. And then the decals went down so nice. And then I did the first clearing of the decals and everything's looking good. For some reason, by the third coat of clearing, everything went sideways and wrong.
Do you remember when mine did that with that exact same?
Yeah.
Okay, I know why it does that.
Yeah, really? Yeah,
Yes.
please. Well,
So
let me first tell you, just so you know, it was Mr. Hobby Clear that is their
Yes.
it would be their acrylic enamel.
It's the premium. It's the premium top coat.
Top coat. Yeah,
Yes.
which you love. You're
Yes.
one of the first ones that really goes, oh my, this stuff is awesome. So yeah, what is your take on that?
Okay, so that stuff sprays almost like an airbrush.
Yes.
And when mine did it, I was trying to figure out why it did it. And that stuff sprays so fine, it doesn't see. We're used to how a regular rattle can builds a layer and seals. That stuff doesn't build layers when we do coats. It doesn't build like traditional rattle can. So what it does is when we go to spray our nice, we've done like our light layers thinking we've got it so where it's started to seal. If there is any hint that decal didn't seal at all, or the glue is even slightly not sticky enough, when we go to spray the heavy, because that stuff is so thin, we spray our heavy, it works its way underneath the decal. And then as it's trying to, because if you notice, it didn't destroy the decal. What it did was it wrinkled the decal. It's the exact same thing that it did to mine. If you throw it in the dehydrator, it starts to flatten the decal back out.
Oh my.
Because it's trying because it's trying to level itself, right? And with the dehydrator, it's accelerating the process. So it, with my decals, it leveled it. Now it doesn't do it foolproof. It only does it about 95-ish%. So there's still a little hint of a wrinkle every few spots, but it takes most of the wrinkles back out. So it tries to level itself back out underneath the decal. So my theory is if those decals don't adhere and completely seal itself on its own, that particular, even though it's safe for decals, it didn't destroy the decal.
No,
like
it didn't.
Traditional, when it would
it didn't melt them at all.
But it sprays so fine, it gets underneath the decal and then tries to level, and it shrinks the decal as it's leveling itself underneath the decal.
Oh wow, that totally makes sense. I buy that 100%.
Yeah, and
that's
so
exactly what it looks like was happening.
So that's what scares me about using that. If you try to do a heavy, final couple layers after you've done your light, because that's exactly what happened to my rally car. I was like, what? And it did it twice.
I remember that. That's right. Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what in the world is going on? And then when I looked at the first body that I did, and it did that, I was like, I wonder, and I started playing around. I was like, it's got to be what it is, because I'm looking at how fine that stuff, and then I tried spraying like the regular clear that I would use before, and just the layers it's building it's not even close to being the same.
We got to figure out how to be able to do this correctly, because I don't want to.
Because I've sprayed it on other decals and never had a problem, but they were not as thick as the rally decals that I were using, because they were aftermarket,
right?
And they were typically or they were newer, because the Tamiya decals that I used on the second body were older, and those older glue, and it got underneath them, and I was like,
so and these were old decals that I was using, even though they laid out really nice. You're right. That's exactly what happened.
Did you use a setting solution?
I did. But you know what? I didn't on the hood because it was flat. I did in certain spots where I needed it to suck down.
That might be something
character line, but I didn't do it on the whole decal. So
Did the whole decal wrinkle, or just where you put the setting solution, or where you did not?
where I did not, I got to look at it closer now. But I'm gonna investigate that because I know where I put setting solution.
That's a
Which
good thought
yeah.
too. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that. That's interesting.
I'll use microsol to give it that suck it down into the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
use the
good.
microsol. Even on
That's
a
what I
flat
use.
surface, I'll still
Yeah.
do that.
And I typically use it, but I won't swear to like actually doing what Mark says and using it all over. So that's probably something too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look close at that.